Good evening. I'm Kavita Karki and you're watching Emerging SME, a television program which highlights the success stories of small and medium enterprises. On the show today, our first story is of VKC Nuts, which is the premier nut and dry fruits company, one of the largest processors and exporter of Indian walnuts. Here's a report which gives you an insight into VKC Nuts. Have a look.
VKC Nuts is India's largest organized processors of all nuts and dry fruits.
The team at VKC takes pride in being recognized and identified as the walnut people across the Indian nuts and dry fruit trade for their strong presence in both export and domestic market. The company's worldwide network for imports, exports, decades of experience, world-class processing unit and deep penetration at all levels of domestic nut and dry fruit trade has made VKC a recognized name in the industry.
VKC has 4 processing units, 3 in Jammu and Kashmir and the 4th in Tronika City, NCR, Delhi, which are FSSC 22000 and HACCP, the latest in food certification. VKC is one of the few companies in India to have laser sorting, vacuum packaging, modified atmosphere packaging and robotic pouch packaging. They roast their nuts and also make healthy trail mixes and nutty mixes. Over the years, VKC has expanded its range from just walnuts to the whole plethora of nuts, dry fruits, seeds and berries.
They are available as raw, whole, sliced, diced, blanched or roasted, customized as required by the customer. VKC focuses on individual customer needs. Their customer-centric approach and the right product mix for various end-use applications have helped them win their customers' confidence as partners in growth. VKC leverages an extensive global network that has been cultivated over the past 90 years to source the best produce from various parts of the world.
Nutraj is the retail and consumer brand name of the company, and Nut Lounge is the latest move wherein company has set up its own retail outlets. Nutraj.com is India's largest online shop for healthy bites, offering the finest variety of nuts and dry fruits from around the world.
Nutraj.com delivers excellent quality nuts and dry fruits at the most competitive prices right at your doorstep. Nutraj.com is the ideal option to satisfy your every nutty need. You can order online through their secure server, over the phone or via fax or email.
Come, we beckon you to the exciting and healthy world of nuts, seeds, dry fruits and berries. Try our products that are available across the retail shelves on pan-India basis for that healthy snacking experience. With warm wishes from the team VKC, Team Nutraj.
VKC Nuts is committed to nuts and dry fruit trade and are pursuing ambitious growth plans with unfailing focus and dedication towards their esteemed customers anywhere and everywhere. It is their endeavor to bring nuts and dry fruits from all across the globe to doorsteps of average Indian household. They therefore call upon you to leave your worries of procurement of quality nuts and dry fruits to them, and they will deliver to your expectations. I caught up earlier with Mr. Gunjan Jain, the Managing Director of VKC Nuts, to talk about the company's growth and future expansion plans. Have a look. Would you please give us an insight into VKC Nuts? It appears to be a merger of futuristic vision and tradition. So how was this fusion made possible?
Well, about VKC Nuts, we are a 4-generation-old family company set up by my great-grandfather in the year 1926. It was set up as a small walnut trader. From there on, we have moved to be India's largest processors of nuts and dried fruits. It was under the tutelage of my grandfather that the present generation, the 4th generation in the family business, me and my brother, that we took over the reins of the business.
So what were the factors that created the shift from export to import, and what made you bet on the Indian market more than the rest of the world's market, which is like swimming against the tide, and also how were you benefited from this?
I'm talking about the year 1994-95 when I joined my family business, and the whole walnut market was basically an export-driven market. The export space was swamped with bigger players, and we were fighting tooth and nail for a small pie of those European buyers. But it was the same time when the Pepsis and the Cokes of the world were wanting to come to the Indian market. And again, as a young boy and a proud Indian, I started thinking, when all the guys from the West want to come to the Indian market, why are we running after the West, chasing the Western buyers more and not looking at the Indian market? Well, that brought the change and shift for our company and our company policy. We started betting more on the Indian market. We got a major lead in the domestic market. The domestic market grew by leaps and bounds. And today I can proudly say we are present in almost everywhere. I can say that any ice cream you have, any cookie you have, any supermarket shelf you go off to pick up your nuts and dried fruit, there's more than 50% chance the nuts have gone from one of our 4 processing facilities.
So you claim to have presence in all verticals of the nuts and dry fruit trade. So please elaborate on that and also tell us, how is the company different from the rest of its competitors?
As I say, we are present in all aspects, whether it is exports, imports, processing, trading and wholesale, distribution, retailing, and of course now with the advent of e-commerce, the online platform as well. We are bringing in product right from the farms across the globe down to the table of the Indian consumer with no middlemen involved. There's a separate importer who's just importing and bringing the product in, and he's selling to various brokers or to a trader who's then taking it forward to the next channel. Or the next guy is processing and bringing it to the trader who's then taking it to the supermarket chain or somebody. So there's a whole line involved. We at VKC have tried to get right from the start to the end. So we are there directly in all the verticals.
You have also taken to e-marketing now, and you're selling through established online platforms, and you have your own web portal, which is nutraj.com. So how has been the customer's response towards this, and how do you plan to withstand the might of the big players in the business?
Well, the customer's response has been phenomenal. To be honest, when we started with the Nutraj.com, our own portal, it was more of a fulfillment channel. You had these consumers who had traveled, the Indian diaspora who have traveled overseas, who have come back. They were looking for stuff like a healthy pecan pie or a cranberry or a prune or a macadamia nut. But these things were not available on the Indian shelves. On the other side, whenever I went to the trade and talked about to our wholesalers, to our distributors, they were always with this, that these products can't sell in the Indian market. We don't know, nobody knows this product, there's no awareness. So the online portal was more of a fulfillment, that people who wanted to buy such stuff don't have to go and bring in 5 kg sacks. They are well available in India. We have close to about 450 products. So anything that you can dream up of in nuts, you'll find it on our website.
Here we'll take a short break. There's a lot more on the other side. Stay tuned in. Welcome back. We have with us Mr. Gunjan Jain, the Managing Director of VKC Nuts. How would you like to characterize the expansion, the product diversification, and the growth of the company?
Well, from a modest processor of walnuts to the largest processor of all nuts and dried fruits that we are now, from the bottom of the pyramid to the top, I would say the journey has been very challenging, but at the same time it has been rewarding. It came from a burning ambition and desire to really create some value and recognition, and primarily to take the family name forward. So we took baby steps in the beginning when the things were small. So from taking those baby steps, today we've moved to where we are taking giant leaps and strides when we have earned a foothold in the industry. And for me, I would say it has been sheer baptism through fire. We've tried, it's worked, it's not worked, we've moved on. But I can say we learned to swim in rough waters, but it was always under the watchful eyes of our elders.
Please elaborate on your current product portfolio.
What people in developed nations were having, healthy food stuff in forms of the newer varieties, I wanted everybody in India to have that. From there on, we started with this. We started being the first ones to bring in cranberries, blueberries, pecans, hazelnuts, filberts, all the new and exotic nuts and dried fruits. We moved on to dried kiwis and cantaloupes. So you name it all. Today we have anything and everything in the nuts and dried fruit portfolio.
Please tell us about your new initiative, the launch of Nut Lounge store.
I've been very passionate, and I'm not just promoting our brand, but we were promoting the category on the shelves, the whole category of nuts and dried fruit. We were promoting that on the supermarket shelves with our own promoters at our own cost. We were doing that. But what we realized was that for them, it's one of the product portfolios in the huge list of products they have to do. It's grocery, it's staples, it's your daily needs, everything. So nuts and dried fruit formed a very small part. So I realized that full justice was not being done to the category in really getting the full value out of what you can get out of this category. So we conceptualized a store which was focused on nuts and dried fruits, where consumers could come. There were no distractions. We wanted to spoil our customers with the largest selection of nuts, berries, seeds, mixes, and more. This was our direct interface with the ultimate consumer and customer.
So how do you see the future shaping up for the nuts and dry fruit trade, and what are your plans for adaptation to tune into the change?
Well, by now you must have realized that nuts, they flow in my blood, and how passionate I am about them. And for India, this category is at a tip of an iceberg. It's just one way in this category to go up, up and away. Just to share with you some numbers, since we are looking at creating a nuts and dried fruit brand, and we've gone ahead. I mean, we sell close to 1 crore packs, consumer packs a year in the Indian market. So we got a survey done for our consumer brand and just the category in general. China consumes about 650,000 tons of walnuts a year, whereas we are talking about India growing as a market. It's grown at a CAGR of about 25%. So still the walnut consumption is 35,000 tons. So we are talking 19 times difference. Of course, China is ahead of us as an economy, but not 19 times. So if the category grows, and I firmly believe right at the moment we are just working to grow the category, to grow the consumption patterns in India. As the category grows, everybody involved in this category, everybody in the chain will grow and prosper.